Now on News 6, rising prices at local theme parks.
We bought 2 drinks yesterday, they were $70.
Families are saving up for this, sometimes for years.
We're working to uncover if the price hikes are sustainable. Plus, $1.8 million to improve sidewalks around local schools. The city hoping to improve the conditions students face. And the local event helping you get your pets microchipped and vaccinated for free. This is News 6 Mornings.
Hey, good morning. We made it to Hump Day. It is 7 a.m. I'm Crystal Moyer.
I'm Justin Mormouth. Trooper Steve is here watching the roads. Let's begin, though, with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Don't be a dummy like me. And forget to turn off of your sprinklers, because I know that they're going off right now. I got a Ring camera alert, so that's on me.
That's so frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
But at the end of the day, you can turn it off now for the next 7 days. That's
there we
good
go.
news. Don't forget. Hey, it's going to save you some money. Nothing's worse than when it's raining and you see the sprinklers out the window on.
I'm just
You're just like, why?
The worst.
The worst. Although, Justin, kudos, because this is the perfect time to have your sprinklers on, not in the middle of the day. So
that's right.
Following the science rules. All right, let's talk about the rainfall totals in the last 3 days across Central Florida. We have racked up some considerable rain. Again, we picked up even more rain before the 3-day stretch, but look at this. We're looking at about more than half of an inch of rain in many locations. New Smyrna Beach really racking it in with almost just over an inch and a quarter of rain the last 3 days. We're going to add to those rain totals for another couple of days. Today, it's all about the sea breeze. Where they come together, where they collide is where we will see our highest chance for some rain, some storms. As of right now, most of our severe weather threat today still kind of on the lower end of things. We are going to be bumping up the severe threat for tomorrow. Taking a live look outside Cape Canaveral, a nice yet muggy, warm, morning, but at least it's pretty. 70 degrees in Sanford, same in Orlando. It's certainly very mild no matter where you are. We're all in the 70s. So as we head into the afternoon, dodging the rain, making sure you have your rain gear handy. The kids as well, they have their umbrellas or their raincoats or whatever they do to stay dry, because the storms will be around. We'll have more details on the timing of today's rain and a look at the next 7 very soggy days ahead. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
Roadways are doing okay this morning. No issues this morning in Seminole County. We're going to start to see those westbound delays here within probably 20 minutes or so, but we're not seeing them as often as we have been. So Deltona, this is where the new delays are. I do think part of that is the expansion of some of the travel lanes that we're going to be getting out here towards 46 and 46A. And then in the future, I-4 and beyond, Deltona, you guys will be next, but that's way down the road. 434 to downtown Orlando, 9 minutes, 25 minutes from John Young out of our area. Winter Springs, good morning to you guys. 419 through Tuscaloosa towards 417. Currently up to speed with no issues. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. A disturbing and deadly attack in a local state park.
A woman out canoeing killed by an alligator. And new this morning, we are hearing the call for help made just moments afterwards. This happened yesterday in Lake Kissimmee State Park. It's east of Lake Wales. News 6's Angie Casada following the latest live in studio now. And there was another gator attack at nearly that exact same spot earlier this year, Angie.
Yeah, in that case, a woman was bitten in the arm but survived. Sadly, it was a much more tragic outcome this time, with investigators saying the woman ended up in the water with the gator and didn't make it out.
It happened in a place where gators are common, the mouth of Tiger Creek flowing into Lake Kissimmee.
Gator grabbed her out of the canoe. He tried to fight the gator off. We're at the last place he saw her.
The woman was canoeing with her husband when she went into the water. Her husband fought to save her, but she didn't survive.
We have him on the boat. He is safe.
FWC confirms they recovered her body and are now investigating. A nuisance alligator trapper has been called to the area. And this isn't the first time. In March, a woman was bitten on the arm by a gator while kayaking in the same waters.
FWC officers will work with our biologists to determine the factors that led up to this incident, and the medical examiner will ultimately decide the final cause of death.
Now, the FWC is holding a press conference this morning where we expect to learn more about this deadly attack. Of course, we'll keep you updated here on News 6. In studio, Angie Casada.
Angie, thanks. Meanwhile, we're learning new details surrounding Florida's first deadly bear attack in history. An 89-year-old man and his dog mauled in Collier County. This morning, we know workers have put down at least 3 bears in that area where the man was attacked. Officials say the remains will be taken to the University of Florida to see if their DNA matches the blood left on the victims.
We have traps and cameras set up, and we have our law enforcement officers who are able to, shoot if necessary.
Wildlife officials say it's possible that 2 bears were involved in the attack, but they're still investigating.
A man charged with killing his infant daughter will be staying locked up in the Orange County Jail. A judge denied bond for Darius Nichols during his first court appearance yesterday. The 20-year-old told investigators the 3-month-old fell off of the sofa last week at the family's home on Marsh Pine Circle. But an autopsy showed the little girl had a number of skull fractures and broken ribs that were in the healing process, something that couldn't have happened from falling off of a couch. Nichols is being charged with first-degree murder and aggravated child abuse. Happening today, the jury in the resentencing trial of 2 men convicted in Volusia County's deadliest mass murder are set to begin deliberations. Troy Victorino and Jerron Hunter once again facing the death penalty for the 2004 crime that became known as the Xbox murders. 6 people beaten to death inside a Deltona home after a fight over property, including a gaming system. Victorino and Hunter were both sentenced to death in the past, but have to be resentenced due to changes in state law.
Right now, more than 100 cardinals are gathering at the Vatican, preparing to make what will likely be the biggest decision of their life: who should lead the Catholic Church. Now, these are live pictures of St. Peter's Square. The conclave, the process to pick a new pope, gets underway later on this morning. CBS's Tina Kraus explains what exactly will take place at the conclave and when the world will know there's a new pontiff.
Sunrise at St. Peter's Square, ushering in the dawn of the conclave to choose the new pope. The 133 cardinals who will make that decision attended a final mass this morning before they'll be sequestered with cell phone service cut. In this room in the Sistine Chapel, the so-called princes of the church will cast their ballots until they reach a 2/3 consensus. Papal robes in 3 sizes hang in the nearby crying room, where the new pontiff will face the feelings and the magnitude of the mission. Outside, a temporary chimney is in place where crowds will eagerly watch for signals. Black smoke meaning no pope has been chosen, or white smoke indicating a new pope has been elected.
We're going to be looking way over there for the smoke.
These college students from Maine say they plan to have a front row seat.
I'm not religious at all, but I would say that it's still quite a historic moment.
Ahead of the conclave, several cardinals have said they believe the field is wide open as to who the next pope will be. The vast majority of them were appointed by Pope Francis. That's a key detail, as a new CBS News poll shows 42% of U.S. Catholics hope the next pontiff will carry out Pope Francis's teachings. 37% prefer someone more conservative, while 21% want someone more progressive. New York Archbishop Timothy Dolan has his own ideal for the next pontiff.
I hope there's a pope that is like Jesus.
Big shoes to fill as anticipation builds. Tina Kraus, CBS News, the Vatican.
And the cardinal electors are set to begin their procession to the Sistine Chapel around 10:30 Eastern Time this morning. CBS News will have the live coverage right here on News 6 and on clickorlando.com.
Governor DeSantis says he will soon sign a bill officially banning local governments from adding fluoride to the drinking water.
There are impacts to pregnant women, to children, about having too much of this. And you don't even have to agree with that analysis, but at the end of the day, we should all agree that we want people to be able to make informed consent.
The governor spoke yesterday in Miami, but this has been an ongoing debate for months, with several cities and counties already banning the use of the mineral over potential health concerns. Critics, though, maintain the decision is the wrong choice. In fact, the Florida Dental Association released a new statement yesterday saying this has been researched for 80 years with overwhelming evidence adding fluoride is safe and effective when it comes to preventing tooth decay.
Today marks the deadline to make sure your license is Real ID compliant. But it seems those who haven't gotten that yellow star on their ID, they're going to get a break, at least for now. The head of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, said yesterday people will still be able to fly, but should be prepared for some extra checks. Noem says 81% of travelers are Real ID compliant. For those who are not, TSA agents will be accepting passports and tribal identification. Turning back to the weather now, Candace, obviously if you're flying out, maybe you have some family, friends in town or heading out later on today, when we see that rain, they're going to want to check with their airline.
Absolutely. Like, at the end of the day, it's going to be kind of an after 3 o'clock play, but could linger as late as about sundown, so 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, let's look at the precip outlook. You can see how unsettled it is going to be. This is our Storm Prediction Center kind of looking beyond just the next couple of days. We're talking from May 13th through May 17th. So between now and about, let's say, middle of next week, we could be racking up an additional 4 to 7 inches of rain possible. We're going to be watching an upper level low. It's going to sink across the northern Gulf, and that's going to stream in all that moisture that we're going to be tapping into as we head into the weekend and early next week. So even more rain than what we've been seeing is on tap. Downtown Orlando right now, a nice start to the day. Kind of hazy out there. We have a lot of humidity. We have some of that smoke from other kind of fires going on across Central Florida for the past couple of days, all kind of mixed in, which is why you can kind of see the air out there. Right now, we're in those low 70s. So for today, our rain chances are going to be trending upwards. This is a very summer-like pattern, right? Heating up to near 90 today. Rain chances up to about a 60%, starting up at about 2, 3 o'clock and continuing till about 7. At the end of the day, though, we are slowly racking up the rain, certainly seeing almost triple, quadruple the amount of rain we've seen all month long in April. We've already picked it up in the last, 5, 6 days. So certainly some beneficial rain. Still in the deficit in a couple of spots, but I think we're all going to be in the green when the system is all said and done. We'll have more details on how much rain we could actually rack up coming up in just a little bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your News 6 traffic update.
Do you see all the burn bans kind of going away at this point after this kind of week of rain?
Well, we need this kind of rain for like 10 straight days before we start seeing burn bans. Those are the ones that take the longest to, because they don't want to windshield them on and off, on and off. So
another month of this rain.
It's going to dent the drought for sure.
And we'll see what happens.
Not bust
so
it.
for now, make sure you guys are paying attention to that stuff, please. We're doing pretty good for now. 417 out here at the 41-ish. Puts you out by Redbug Lake Road, Seminole County. Things nice and clear. No crashes to report to you. Longwood, Winter Springs, out towards just south of Lake Jessup. I-4 towards Eatonville, Maitland, east and westbound, clear. To include not only your main line, but your express lanes, also looking real good. There was a minor slowdown out there yesterday for some construction, but drive times really good. Out on the west side, Pine Hills, good morning to you. West, State Road 50, east and westbound. I know that sounds weird, but all running smoothly this morning. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. The time is now 7:12. It's what makes Central Florida so popular, our theme parks.
But is a visit to Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld too expensive? Coming up, we're going to break down the numbers and why some families say they've been priced out.
But first, a scary situation for dozens of condo owners in Southwest Florida. Their building evacuated over fears it could collapse. Up next, what was found underneath that has engineers concerned. You're watching News 6 Mornings on News 6 Plus. We'll be right back. New this morning, dozens of people evacuated from a Clearwater condo complex over concerns the building could collapse. The evacuation was ordered yesterday after crews found a large crack in a support column in the parking garage below the 12-story building. Firefighters say the split in the concrete is at least 2 feet wide.
It was getting bigger. At this time, they feel it's getting stabilized, but they still need to support the structure and secure it so it doesn't collapse or break down anymore.
The city of Clearwater says a private contractor and engineer have been brought in to help stabilize the building, with the work expected to continue today. Until the condos are deemed safe, the Red Cross is helping the 60 people who had to be evacuated.
Epic Universe officially opens 2 weeks from tomorrow. It is Universal's biggest and most expensive park yet, both in terms of construction costs and ticket prices. Universal, Disney, and the rest of Central Florida's theme park options have long been the ultimate destination for families, but has that experience gotten too expensive? Orlando's theme parks, the promised land of churros, fireworks, and fantasy. A place where families flock, wallets wide open, chasing magic that has a steep price tag. You think it's too expensive?
I think for some people it may be too expensive. It gets a little ridiculous.
Let's talk numbers. A single day, single park ticket to Magic Kingdom is anywhere from $139 to $199 depending on the day. Epic Universe, right in that same ballpark. A one-day ticket also between $139 to $199.
It's just hard though because it's crowded a lot and I'm not one that wants to spend money to wait in lines all day.
That's where Lightning Lane multi-passes and express passes come in, maximizing someone's trip at an additional cost, of course. Up to $40 at Magic Kingdom, even more at Epic Universe. And then there's parking, souvenirs, and food, like this $20 crepe at Epic Universe.
We bought 2 drinks yesterday, they were $70. I think that's a little excessive.
Families are saving up for this, sometimes for years.
Richard Lewin is a professor of international business at Rollins College. I wanted to know if the annual price hikes at the parks are sustainable and whether they could eventually impact attendance numbers.
I think numbers are important, but I think that the driver is what's the yield, what's the spend that we can get.
Back to those price hikes. An average one-day ticket to Disney back in 2014, less than $100. A decade later, that's up to $154. And word is prices will jump again this year. Universal, meantime, historically more affordable than Disney, has followed suit with hikes of its own. But with the addition of Epic Universe, prices are now on par with its crosstown foe. All right, so as Florida residents, obviously we have more affordable ticket packages at our disposal, but can you even use the word affordable nowadays when talking about a trip to the parks? Harder and harder to do, no doubt.
We're still going to go, though.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a rare catch in Osceola County. Check it out. Wildlife workers captured this, yes, kangaroo, after getting several reports of the animal just hopping around St. Cloud, paying it a visit. FWC officials say the kangaroo was found hiding in some shrubbery. The animal was taken to a local facility where vets gave it a clean bill of health. Officials are now working to find out where the owner is. Where did he come from? Because I know he ain't from here.
I bet you probably wild Florida down in South Osceola.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
And then I imagine that people get the permitting for having these exotic animals.
We've done stories.
If you have the acreage, which we know so many people in Osceola County have the acreage, to have them roam.
The dream.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. Just wanted to get away for a while.
Yeah.
A little adventure.
Just wanted to check out the busy streets of St. Cloud and Kissimmee.
I can imagine
they're getting busy.
I can imagine my kids in the backseat going, "Mom, I think I see a kangaroo." And you're like, "No,
it's not
gonna come."
You're like,
but it is.
Take a nap.
And then we watch it on the news. All right, let's talk about the weather forecast.
We're gonna be hopping around trying to dodge those storms.
Exactly.
Da-da, ding.
Like what you did there. Like what you did there. Satellite and radar composite showing our next rainmaker up to our north. It's producing tons of rain right now. Look at the last couple frames. You can see the blow-up of rain and storms from parts of South Texas all the way through Louisiana. Now, the exact directly rain, the rain won't directly, that's what I'm trying to say. The rain won't be directly moving into Central Florida, but all the moisture associated with it is going to be tapping in and bringing us another round of rain and storms. You can see a little bit closer in, we have severe thunderstorm watches and warnings again stretching from Corpus Christi, lining the northern Gulf all the way through areas of Louisiana into Alabama as well. Even some parts of the Panhandle seeing some of that rain. But for us locally, it's going to take some time before that system kind of makes makes its way into the northern Gulf, but as it does so, that's going to continue to juice up our atmosphere. So even more rain will be in store as we head into the weekend. Now, temperatures out the door. Speaking of kind of a hot, humid kind of start. We're already in the 70s, and we're going to continue to climb to near 90 degrees this afternoon. As you can see, rain chances, once we heat up, that's when the rain will come through, bringing temperatures down slightly. But that chance for rain, once again, starting to fire up on our radar by about 2, 3 o'clock. So you can see, stopping the clock, that's 2 in the afternoon, sticking around through 3, becomes more widespread as the sea breezes really come together and where they kind of battle it out and kind of duke it out across the atmosphere. That's where the worst of the rain and storms will be. Heavy downpours will be embedded. We've had reports of some small hail embedded in some of our storms within recent days. So again, that is still going to be the same setup. I don't think we're going to see as many severe thunderstorm warnings as previous days, but we're going to ramp up the severe threat a little higher though as we head into Thursday. For that reason, tomorrow we are going to be issuing a weather alert day because of the severe weather threat. We'll be under a level 1 out of 5 for your Thursday. But again, we're going to be staying very active even into the weekend. Mother's Day weekend, there goes that area of low pressure that right now is to our north. We'll move in. Surging rounds of tropical moisture kind of pulses. That's the reason why rain chances are going to get even higher, especially comes Mother's Day on Sunday. Look how much rain on top of what we've already racked up, upwards about 2 inches of rain already. We're going to add another 5 to 7 inches in many of our rain gauges across central Florida. On the lower end will be our western zones, about 3 to 5 inches. And as you get results here, the full 7-day forecast. Again, Mother's Day, it's not going to be a complete washout for most of our days. It's just going to be really focused on the afternoon, which unfortunately do come with the chance for some strong to severe storms. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your News 6 traffic update.
Most of our major roadways, pretty much wherever you're coming from. So, for example, here along 528 out by 417. So that puts us on our southeastern portions like Nono, Wedgefield, East Orange County, like Waterford Lakes. No problem. Things really looking nice this morning with no major problems. I-4 east and westbound through Eatonville, all clear. Your drive time still sitting good. 22 minutes to Sanford to downtown, and then 23 from Orlando. Now 429, a little slow northbound as you're making your way towards the ramp. Little secret for you, if you're just trying to continue northbound, stay in the left lane. You'll bypass this, you'll get on the brakes a little bit, but you won't have to sit in that right travel lane because everyone's getting to the right-hand side. Minor crash over here at McGuire at State Road 50. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. 722, a special program aimed at helping adults with autism.
At the bottom of the hour, the class is being offered in Osceola County to help workers with autism land a job.
First, though, a health alert involving Salmonella cases linked to an outbreak detected here in Florida. What the CDC says is behind the illnesses. A new health alert this morning involving an outbreak of salmonella.
According to the CDC, the illness has now sickened people in 6 states, including here in Florida. Health officials say the outbreak is linked to backyard chickens. So far, at least 7 people have gotten sick with the same strain of salmonella. Experts warn that even healthy-looking chickens can potentially carry the bacteria. The CDC is warning people to always wash their hands after touching backyard poultry and to throw away any damaged or cracked eggs. New in your consumer news, after more than 60 years in business, Weight Watchers has filed for bankruptcy. The company has been struggling to keep up with more convenient weight loss options, including GLP-1 drugs. In the latest earnings report from February, Weight Watchers revealed it recently saw a 12% drop in members. During the bankruptcy process, the company says operations will continue as usual.
140 years. That's how long the Orlando Fire Department has been serving the city beautiful, and the agency is marking the milestone on one of its busy units. Take a look here. Firefighters unveiled Fire Engine 101 yesterday, specially wrapped to showcase the 140th anniversary. The Orlando Fire Department began in 1885 with just a group of volunteers. It now has more than 600 members who serve millions of residents and visitors each year.
And we appreciate everything those men and women do.
We sure do.
The time is now 7:25, a new push to keep kids safe while walking to and from school.
Still ahead, the project the city of Daytona Beach is now considering around 2 schools and how they plan to pay for it.
But first, a tragedy on the water, a woman killed by a gator while canoeing in a local state park. At the bottom of the hour, the new details we're learning about the attack. You're watching News 6 Mornings here on News 6 Plus and clickorlando.com. Stay with us.
Live with clickorlando.com. You're watching News 6 Mornings.
Good morning, Central Florida. I'm Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Temperatures once again this afternoon starting off in the 70s, heating up to the near 90, and then the rain and storms come through. Again, the timing looks to once again fall about 2-3 o'clock. Scattered showers will be, we'll have to dodge that by that time, and then becoming more widespread. Some strong storms can't be ruled out as we head into the 5-6 o'clock hour, lingering till about sundown. We're going to increase our threat for some strong to severe storms possible on Thursday before we keep keep the rain chances in place throughout Mother's Day weekend. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
If you're visiting us from out of town, don't worry, that 7-day, we get no snow here, so that is always going to be cloud coverage, and we get a lot of it now. Crash McGuire over at Colonial out in the Ocoee area. Please be careful. Outside of that, running real good across Central Florida, 528 east and westbound, no matter where you're at. If you're out by 436 to the airport, in the green or in Brevard County, all smooth. The news continues next. Remember to get updates on any of our big stories anytime. ClickOrlando.com.
This portion of the news is sponsored by AK Certified Roofing. Live with ClickOrlando.com. You're watching News 6 Mornings.
The time now is 7:30. Let's get a check of our top stories. A woman is dead after being attacked by an alligator at Lake Kissimmee State Park. FWC says the victim was canoeing at the time. It happened in nearly the same spot. Another woman was bitten by a gator earlier this year.
The fate of 2 men who killed 6 people inside a Deltona home will be in the hands of a jury later today. They have to decide whether Troy Victorino and Jerron Hunter should once again be sent to death row after their original death sentences were tossed out.
And the conclave gets underway today at the Vatican. Cardinals from around the world will gather in the Sistine Chapel to choose a new pope following the death of Pope Francis last month.
Turning now to the weather, it seems calm out there in downtown Orlando. It's actually a very beautiful shot there, but we're going to see some storms later this afternoon.
It just looks steamy out there, doesn't it? Let's get a check of that forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos.
Yeah, you can already see the humidity on the camera, right? Cape Canaveral, this is another live look, but you can see that there's kind of a haze still out there. We have the humidity, we have some kind of lingering smoke from different brush fires that have been popping up due to some of the lightning that we've been dealing with. Just because we have rain doesn't mean that fire threats completely out of the picture. Now, that's going to be the same story for today. Certainly soggy, but stormy as well as we head into the afternoon. Right now, it is a mild yet muggy start. We're in those low 70s, pretty much area wide. Into the afternoon, still running above average, even along our coastline, upper 80s to low 90s, pretty much area wide. So if you are planning on enjoying the beaches, get out there sooner rather than later, as we are going to start seeing the rain start to roll in as we head into the afternoon. Rip Current risk still on the high side with the surf looking at about 1 to 2 feet. We'll have more details on when we are expecting the rain, how long will it last, and a look at the next soggy 7 days. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your News 6 traffic update.
It just lets you know, that word just lets you know, it's just going to be like, oh, you're going to feel it all week. Listen, pay attention out here along State Road 50, close to the Ocoee city limits out here at McGuire and State Road 50. There is a report of a crash, and then you can barely see it left side of your screen. You'll start to see some southbound delays along 429 approaching State Road 50. 528, though, this morning, we're really good. If you're coming in from westbound portions of there along I-95 westbound along 528 towards the airport, only a 25-minute drive. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. Developing this morning, a horrifying alligator attack at a local state park. A woman ends up being killed in the water while she was out on a canoe trip with her husband. It happened in Lake Kissimmee State Park yesterday.
And unfortunately, the area is no stranger to attacks like this. News 6's Angie Casada joins us live in studio. And Angie, what are we learning about the attack this morning?
Yeah, we now have the chilling radio calls from first responders and new details from the Florida Wildlife Commission. This is the second time in just 2 months that a gator has attacked in the same area.
The calls for help came in just after 4 in the afternoon. A woman canoeing in Tiger Creek grabbed by a gator.
Gator grabbed her out of the canoe. He tried to fight the gator off. We're at the last place he saw her.
Her husband tried to save her, but couldn't. FWC confirms the woman's body was recovered shortly after.
The helicopter spotted the victim floating in the water, and FWC officers recovered her from the water where she was pronounced deceased.
And it's not the first incident in these waters. In March, another woman was bitten on the arm by a gator at the same creek. FWC says serious gator attacks are rare, but remind people to stay alert near Florida's waterways.
A press conference is scheduled for later this morning to provide more information. We'll be following that conference and bringing you any new details here on News 6. In studio, Angie Casada.
The former Brevard County teacher charged in connection to a drunken house party with teenagers has been found guilty.
The defendant, Carly Gail Anderson, is guilty of resisting an officer without violence.
It took a jury just about an hour and a half yesterday to convict Carly Anderson of both disorderly intoxication and resisting an officer. This all stems from a January house party where Anderson was seen on body camera video confronting first responders who were trying to help a teen who was sick from drinking too much. The judge sentenced Anderson to probation and community service, and she'll also have to make a donation to the Children's Advocacy Center. Her lawyer says, though, he will be filing an appeal.
Well, this video is at the center of new controversy in Brevard County. It shows a deputy dropping off a woman in need at a nonprofit that helps the homeless, despite the fact that the center was closed when they got there. So this actually happened 2 different times, 12 hours apart at Matthews Hope in Cocoa. The founder of the organization, Scott Ballou, said he's disappointed, saying the deputies should have known that they weren't open and that Matthews Hope isn't even a shelter. But the sheriff says the deputies were just trying to do the right thing.
But it's uncomfortable for me to see an elderly woman that clearly is frail and has issues being dropped off on the concrete.
And if you look at both scenarios, their intent was to try and find this woman help. And they were responding to flyers that Matthews Hope had put out saying that we will get resources for these people.
Ballou says that he hopes what happened will serve as a learning experience for the sheriff's office.
The school board in Volusia County says it's going to move ahead with plans for a new school in DeBary, whether city leaders like it or not. Last month, the board voted to spend millions to buy more land in the area of Spring Vista Drive and South Shell Road for the new K-8 school. The city manager, though, sent the district a cease and desist letter saying the location isn't compatible with DeBary's comprehensive plan. In a new letter, an attorney for the school board says the site is compatible, claiming the city's motives are financially driven and, quote, bear no correlation to what's in the best interests of the children of the community. The letter goes on to say that the school board plans to pursue all legal remedies to develop a school at the site.
New this morning, the city of Daytona Beach is investing nearly $2 million to improve sidewalks around 2 local schools, Campbell Middle and Turry T. Small Elementary. The goal is to make it safer for the students who walk to class each and every day. News 6's Mark Lehman joining us now live with more on this. So, Mark, city officials say this project is long overdue.
Yeah, Public Works are pushing for the improvements. We're hearing the same from parents. They say the sidewalks near the schools are simply too narrow for the amount of students. This one here near Campbell Middle School, we measured it out. It's roughly 4 feet wide, but if this project goes through, it would be extended much further, all the way up to possibly 8 feet in some spots.
When it comes to the streets surrounding Campbell Middle School, parents say it can be a dangerous situation.
The kids are in the road. They're in the roads, they're walking, they're riding in the roads.
Sarah Wilson's daughter is in 6th grade, and she says she witnessed a close call just the other day.
So down here, a kid was walking and almost got hit by a car when he was trying to cross?
Yes, and there was like 3 other kids trying to cross too.
I mean, that's pretty scary, right?
Yes.
With safety in mind, the city of Daytona Beach is now considering a big overhaul of the sidewalks near Campbell and Turry T. Small Elementary. The $1.8 million project would be paid through federal grant funding.
Us expanding them, making them bigger, making even more around, I believe the students would use them, and I think that would help a lot of the safety around here.
The proposed improvements include widening sidewalks to 5, 6, and even 8 feet. To allow for that, lane widths would be reduced on South, Keach, and Cedar Streets. 2 raised crosswalks would also be added near the schools. Wilson says the changes are a much-needed step in keeping students safe.
The sidewalks, I feel like if there was more room for them to walk and be children, that would be wonderful.
Now, at this point, a timetable for construction hasn't been set. If this project is approved, the vast majority of the $1.8 million would be paid through a federal grant, but the city would be responsible for $25,000. Tonight's vote is set during the commission meeting, which is at 6 p.m. For now, reporting live in Daytona Beach, Mark Lehman, News 6.
All in the name of safety. We'll see what happens. Thanks, Mark. After years of complaints about a strong odor in parts of Mount Dora, city leaders say they may finally have an answer. A new city-ordered study points to the mid-Florida Mount Dora landfill as the likely source of the community-wide smell. Investigators also looked at other possible sources, including wastewater plants and industrial sites, but found those impacts were limited.
This vindicates the city of Mount Dora, in my opinion, with clear and convincing evidence that states it is not our problem and not our issue.
The city says it's now working with the county to address the issue and plans to engage with the landfill operator directly.
Speaking of smells, it's that time of year when large clumps of seaweed start washing up on the beach. And this year, a USF researcher tells us that the sargassum blob that stretches across the Atlantic could grow to an even bigger amount than the one that you might remember from 2 years ago.
Over the last month, we saw somewhere around 31 million metric tons of sargassum, which is the highest amount we've ever recorded in this area, and would be the largest macroalgae bloom ever.
Don't love that, but even though it doesn't smell the greatest, FWC says seaweed that washes up does play a vital role in the ecosystem, which is why most Central Florida beaches don't pick it up. But it is quite nasty, and then you feel it in the water as well, and it just kind of is gross. But yes, it does serve a purpose, and if people are heading to the beach today, Candace, you might want to put that chair up away from the sargassum, and then be prepared to run when weather moves in.
Eyes to the west.
Yes.
So we're not looking out over the Atlantic. We're going to be looking for rain moving in out of the Gulf. Now, I'm glad that you guys talked about that, because the sargassum that seaweed certainly needed helps build up our beaches, which at this point in time, especially as we start gearing into hurricane season, a nice little build of some sand is going to be helpful for many of us. All right, let's look at those temperatures right now. Daytona Beach, we're at 71, I should say 72 degrees. We're at 71 in Sanford and Orlando. Just a really nice day from beaches to theme parks. It's going to be hot, nearing 90. No matter what you're doing outdoors, just get them done as early as possible. If not, you're going to have to be kind of timing out the rain and the storms. We also have lightning to contend with. So remember, if you see lightning or you hear the thunder, you got to wait till 30 minutes after the last thunder. That is when you can come back outside. So again, that's a lot of the lightning safety that we have to kind of remember. It has been some time since we've seen an active weather pattern like this in quite some time. So look at that. Rain chances for today, 60 to 80% as we head into the next couple of days. We'll have more details on the timing of today's rain in just a bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
All right, we do have a crash out here just on the west side of State Road 50. It's going to be McGuire over at Colonial. So please be careful. It is reported with roadblock. But if you're headed by the airport, no problems this morning. Everything's still sitting in the green. Even the map showing it. So, hey, we're good to go. Out on the south end, though, Narcoossee, you are a little slow this morning as you make your way towards State Road 417. Yesterday, out on patrol, took things nice and easy and talked about work zones. It was the end of Work Zone Safety Week for the entire state of Florida. So we went through some reminders, and the big reminder, listen, anytime you are speeding, those fines are doubled, and you do not want to mess with that. Head to clickorlando.com and you can check that out. Today, hop in 10 a.m. at clickorlando.com. We're going to be talking about neighborhoods, jurisdictional type of things, where police do enforcement and where they don't. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. 742, a program right here in Central Florida teaching students with autism to repair tech.
But what they're really building is confidence. Coming up, how they're getting help from instructors who know exactly what they're going through.
First, though, the spotlight turns to Sean Diddy Combs as jury selection in his federal trial nears the finish line. What jurors are being asked as the case moves forward. Happening today, jury selection in the sex trafficking trial of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs is expected to wrap up. Combs faces an indictment charging him with leading a racketeering conspiracy involving crimes like kidnapping, arson, bribery, and sex trafficking. Over the past few days, jurors have been questioned about how well they know the case.
It's not about whether you've heard about him and all his various names. It's not even about whether you have an opinion about him. It's about whether or not, based on the facts in court, not social media, not regular media, not tabloids, not anything else, you can make a fair determination.
Now, because Combs is such a high-profile defendant, the initial screening process started last week. The final jury will be chosen from a pool of 45 people.
While most people in Florida have jobs, many adults with autism still struggle to find work. Florida's unemployment rate is only 3.6%, while the state unemployment rate for adults with autism closer to 40%. Now there's a new push for change. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez is live at St. Cloud High School, where a new partnership is aiming to deliver key skills. And Stephanie, the end goal, not just employment, but independence.
Yeah, that's right, Crystal. We know that for people with autism, finding and holding down a job can come with challenges. So this is definitely an opportunity for them to gain the tools and confidence needed to get living wage jobs.
All right, first we got Lennox.
It's potentially life-changing, the chance for a full-time job.
Tectonic is helping individuals with autism in uplifting their skill set in their careers and giving them meaningful employment that can help give them a pathway for a full-time career.
Daniel, look.
Tectonic, a division of the nonprofit Jonathan's Landing, runs technology repair workshops across Central Florida. It's now partnering with Osceola County Schools, allowing the group to bring the course to the classroom.
Our students in regular education programs, they get credentials that help them get jobs. This is helping these men and women get jobs.
Independence is just one of the benefits, but it also fills a gap in an ever-increasing technology-driven world.
Within the industry, there's a shortage of technicians of about 20,000 techs. And every organization, every large company, manufacturer, OEMs, they all need techs, and we also need techs at Tectonic.
Many of the instructors are also adults with autism, teaching the kids how to fix iPhones, tablets, and laptops while being an example of what's possible. Can you guys just tell me a little bit about what this experience has been like for you?
Amazing. Definitely a lot of learning, but it's something I definitely am interested in doing in the future.
Me too.
So if you want to help the Tectonic team, they do have a campaign going on right now where they're trying to collect 1 million devices, phones, tablets, laptops, whether new, used, or damaged, and that's what they use in workshops like that one to teach these students and people with autism to repair technology. If you want to help them out and donate, we do have information over at clickorlando.com. Reporting in St. Cloud, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
I'm sure the community will come together to chip in for those tablets. Thanks so much, Stephanie. While graduation celebrations are happening across Central Florida, Lake County Schools is celebrating a big win of its own. The district surpassed the state's average for graduation rates for the 2023-2024 school year. The graduation rate for district-run schools hit 93%, and all Lake County schools, including charters, came in at 91.7%. Both numbers top the state average of 89.7%. District leaders say it's in part due to programs geared to help children stay on track to graduate.
We actually have something else that's really innovative, and that's a night school program for students that are just not finding success during the school day, and they need more time and support for learning.
With these programs in place, the district says it's committed to helping every student reach their full potential.
All right, so check this out. A diamond hunter in Arkansas got the sweetest surprise. What he thought was a candy wrapper on the ground turned out to be a nearly 4-carat diamond in the rough. He was at the Crater of Diamonds State Park, very popular place to look for diamonds, with his family when he spotted that glimmering object. Park officials confirmed it was the largest diamond found at the park in more than a year. So what a find there. So many people leave empty-handed, right? And then probably just don't return. They probably go for one-time thing, two-time thing.
Yeah.
But how about that?
What a core memory for the family, too, right?
You ever find anything cool on the ground?
No. A penny.
Not really. I don't.
My
nothing
favorite's
comes to mind.
when you find a scratch off or like a lotto ticket.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God,
Could this be it?
You're like, no, it's not. It's already used.
You're like, oh, there's a reason someone threw it on the floor.
Then I put it away in the trash, but.
That's right.
Yes.
Look at you. That's right.
Don't throw it back on the floor.
You're the best Samaritan.
Yeah. I mean, not all the time. All right,
Don't put that diamond back on the floor. You'll never find it.
No,
Right?
That's
I'm
going right in the pocket.
I'm just thinking about the kids who are like, God, Dad's schlepping us over to this thing again.
Keep digging.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
I don't want to do this anymore. Elle says, I told you. All right, let's talk about the weather forecast. This is how the weather is going to be impacting your day over the next couple of days. Good news is the sprinklers, the watering the lawn, your water bill can take a little bit of a breather. We're going to be taking a break from that because this is what the weather's going to be looking like. Now, with that being said, not everyone's going to be seeing rain every single day exactly the same. The pattern does shift a little bit day to day because the east and west coast sea breeze, every day, it's just a new kind of setup. So we're going to watch once again for another round of a decent shot for rain and some storms. Tomorrow, though, the storm chance goes up a little higher. So we are looking at designating tomorrow a weather alert day due to the enhanced risk. We're looking at about a level 1 out of 5, so not extreme widespread, but still worth the mention. And then as you're making those Mother's Day plans, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, just making sure that you have some indoor option if you're going to be celebrating Mom in the afternoon. I mean, you should be celebrating her every day, but you know what I mean. In the afternoon, Mother's Day, a little dicey. Water vapor imagery, look at all of this dicey weather. Speaking of, right lining along the northern Gulf of Mexico, and that all is going to continue to track from west to east. Now, all this moisture at one point is going to continue to inject into central Florida over the next couple of days, and that's going to fuel and add even more instability and even more moisture to produce some more rain. Looking at those temperatures out the door, we are all in those mid to low 70s, but as we take here hour by hour, hitting 90 degrees this afternoon. Our coverage by about 2-3 o'clock, leading until at least 8, will be staying at about a 40 to 60% chance of rain. So let's take you here throughout the next few hours. Clouds and rain showing that bubbling up of all those scattered showers. They could develop some pretty heavy downpours if you do get caught under one. And then as we head into about 5-6 o'clock, that's where the sea breezes really come together. And where they kind of fight is where we will start to see the heaviest amount of rain. Also, that will be our best chance for some strong to severe storms. And then some of that rain will linger across our southern zones into the evening hours. Then as we head into Thursday, rinse and repeat. But this kind of batch here could be a little stronger. So that is why, again, we are looking at a level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. So remember, I was telling you about that, all that moisture up to our north, that's going to come through. That upper level low, again, streaming in pulses of moisture between Sunday and Monday. And then that's going to be what's keeping us on the soggy side. As of now, model comparison between the GFS and the European, still looking at, we could rack up between 2 to 3 inches of rain, some isolated amounts upwards about 7 inches. When this is all said and done, certainly helping those drought conditions. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
I was watching your model there. I was like, man, let me sit here and just learn. I go, wait, I'm next. Let me get up. I got to sit here and explain everything to you. 528, looking good out at the coast. Listen, temperature-wise, at least this morning, and then traffic. What a day to live out on the coast. No issues out here. Titusville, good morning to you guys. Cocoa, Rockledge, Cocoa Beach, even further south towards Satellite Beach, Indian Harbor, and of course, Melbourne and Palm Bay. Good morning to you guys. No crashes in Brevard County. East Osceola, you guys are also looking good. 528, if you're headed towards MCO, no issues. Narcoossee, we're seeing our normal delays northbound, but nothing proactive, and all your lanes are open. Guys, send it back to you.
Thank you, Steve. Orange County residents can now get their pets vaccinated and microchipped for free. Find out how you can arm your pet at the event, helping keep animals safe.
Happening today, Orange County dog owners have another opportunity to get their pets vaccinated and microchipped. Get this, for free. The Arm Your Pet event for dogs is today at Barnett Park until 12 p.m. And if you're a cat owner, don't worry, there's going to be an event for cats on May 21st at Orange County Animal Services. Officials say the goal is to vaccinate and microchip over 650 pets to make sure lost animals can be returned with their owners. Remember, this event is only for Orange County residents, and it's underway right now. Well, you might have seen this next story on clickorlando.com.
Scientists say love bugs, once a familiar nuisance across Florida, may be disappearing from the state. Perhaps they finally found a room. Their numbers have been sharply dropping in recent years, and experts believe it could be part of a global decline in insect populations. A University of Florida professor says climate change, urbanization, and environmental factors could all be to blame. And while fewer love bugs may be good news for some, and including your windshields, experts are still monitoring the possible ecological impact.
They went where they were loved.
Yeah. All right, let's look at those temperatures this afternoon. It's going to be hot, low 90s across our inland zones. And then after we heat up, we're going to start seeing those storms develop. You can see between 2, 3 o'clock, still scattered, becomes more widespread, lining up what looks like almost right along I-4 towards 95. That's where we will see our highest threat for some rain. Some strong storms can't be ruled out, although our threat for severe weather increases a bit for tomorrow. So we'll probably designate tomorrow weather alert day. But in the meantime, though, I know it looks like a complete washout of a 7-day. This is going to be very focused on those afternoon showers and thunderstorms.
So make sure you guys are driving safely in the afternoon, please. Right now, things looking good. Great beach morning, and the roadways all clear. So no issues. We're staying in the green, east and westbound along 528, no matter where you're at. And hey, I-4, not too bad this morning.
We like to see it. Thank you, Steve, and thank you for joining us. We break news on clickorlando.com.
You can also find all of our stories on our new 6 Plus app for your TV.
Have a great one. See ya.